So today we're going to be reviewing and seeing how much these three miners that we have on our rig. If you want to check out how I made this, there's a link in the description. And these are 3-Bitaxe miners. So you have the 204, which is the max, the 400, which is the supra, and then the gamma, which is the 601. And there is obviously different versions, but today we're going to be running through what the weekly, monthly, and daily profits of these look like. And we're also going to be showing you how they actually compare to their ASIC counterparts. So this is an S21 Pro chip, I believe. This is just a regular S21, and this is an S17 for the max version as well. So stick around for that and we'll go through it all in this video. So here on the computer, you can see that we have these miners mining to public pool. So if you don't know already, this is actually a solo pool. So we haven't actually made any profitability from these miners. We are strictly solo mining. But today's video, we're going to be more focused on what it would look like if we were just mining Bitcoin on a pool. So with others included in there as well, in terms of other ASICs, all looking to get a block as well, and seeing how much share of that block we would get if we put these miners onto a pool. The reason that I'm showing you this is because we can show the sessions for each Bitaxe. I still haven't got the swarm feature to work on the Axe OS. I believe I have to update some of the things, but I just haven't got around to it yet. So we can see it better on here anyway. We have hash rate of the 204, which is the max, and then the 400, which is the supra, and then 601, which is the gamma. So we have 353, 796, and 849. And that's kind of over an average, I believe. If we refresh, it'll obviously change depending on what miners we have. So the 600 didn't actually show up then, which it should have. But if we go over to Axe OS, it shows that this is actually running still. Oh, there we go. We have it back up there. So as I said, it is moving around. Our best difficulty is 284 million. And we've been running this for about a week now straight. I know it has been reset in a couple of days, but for a week straight. And that's kind of our best difficulty that we've ever hit. In the session, it's 7.95 or 8.5 million right there. So this is for the gamma that we're seeing here. Expected hash rate should be a little bit higher. I still do not know what we're doing wrong in terms of the overclocks, or maybe it's just the power supply because it is an external one and it's not one that came with the actual Bitaxe because it's a UK plug. And then we have the Supra, which is actually outperforming quite a lot than the expected. Back here you can see it does jump up to like 1.1 terahash, but it does, on average, it doesn't really track to that necessarily. It tracks more to maybe 950 gigahash. And same goes for this. This one's a little bit more at 650 across the line here. And then lastly, we have the max, which is, if we scroll down here, 445 gigahash. If somebody can leave in the comments how to get the chart up, if there is a possibility, like a hash rate chart like this for the Bitaxe max, please leave it in the comments because I want to know how to actually get that up. And now let's get on to some profitability. So firstly, let's look at the 3 Bitaxes that we have on the rig. So first one is the max. I believe that this is the 1397 chip. So this is the same chip that's used in the S17. Currently, let's put the cents to 10 cents per kilowatt hour. So this S17 technically isn't profitable anymore and is actually losing money. So I don't think we'll see much profitability, but when we add them all together, there might be profits there. As in we have 3, so the other 2 might outweigh the profits. And then the next one that we have is the Supra. So we jumped past the Bitaxe Ultra. So we have the Supra, which is the 1368 version. I believe that this comes from a regular S21, which actually is profitable at current rates. And then when we go back, we have the last one, which is the Gamma, which is 1370. That's the chip, and that comes from an S21 Pro, which is also profitable. So we have one chip in there that is technically unprofitable, but 2 that are profitable. So we should see that that outweighs the first chip, maybe. And that gives us an idea of how much we'll mine per day, per week, per month, overall, if we stuck it onto a pool, with pool mining instead of solo mining. Now, personally, I wouldn't recommend pool mining because there's not much point right now. You can stack little bits of Bitcoin, but I don't think it's worth it across, a certain amount of time. There's not really much point because of the hash rate that's hitting the Bitcoin network. Those rewards are just going to go lower and lower, and you might as well chance it at the lottery that is Bitcoin. And if you want to learn more about the odds of that, you can actually check out the channel, and there's a video maybe 3 days ago talking about the odds of hitting a block compared to the actual lottery. So check that out if you want to. So let's actually input this into a calculator. So we're going to go based off the 2-hour average we last hit, which if we go here is 1.867 terahash. So we're going to use that. And then we're also going to add up all of the watts that we have here. So we have 18.1, as you can see here. And then you have 12.5. And then we have, if we scroll down here, this is what's up here, so 11.44. So we'll add that together, and then we'll put the hash rate as well on the 2-hour average into a calculator, and we'll see how much profitability we're actually making. So currently the hash rate overall is about 1.87, and the power consumption is around 42 watts across all three of them. As I said, it does vary in and out, so this goes up and down, up and down. Same with this one as well. It does change relative to how much hash rate is being pulled on the board, but that's just kind of an average is 42 watts across it, and same with the hash rate, it's an average of what we're seeing. We might also do a comparison of like maybe the highest hash rate that we hit across the board. And then we have an electricity cost of 10 cents per kilowatt hour. An estimated income, as you can see there, is around half a cent, and then the cost is however much that is, and then the estimated profit is around 1/5 of a cent. That's in the last hour. And then in the last day, so this is going based off a daily average, I guess, estimated income is around 11 cents, and estimated profitability is actually 1 cent. So we're using quite a lot of terahash to watts consumption. I'm assuming that the Bitaxe Max, which is the oldest version, is taking up a lot of power to how much hash rate it's actually producing. And then we go to the last 7 days. So in a week, we're making around 77 USD with a profitability of only 7 cents there. So then it also shows lastly here for 30 days, you can see over the next 30 days is $3.36 with a profitability of 33 cents. So we're spending quite a lot on power there. Now I'm wondering if we took out the Bitaxe Max in terms of the watts and the hash rate, could we actually produce a higher profitability ratio? So we can take out 400 from here because that's how much is in the max. And then we can actually take out 42 minus 12 will give us 30 watts. So we click calculate there, and it kind of seems like that might be a little bit better of a ratio from terahash to watts, but I don't think it's making too much of a difference overall. Remember, this is only 3 chips that we have, and these miners that we see for S21, S21 Pro, and S17 have, I don't know, maybe 100 to 200 chips of these, but we've only got 1 in each of these. So the profitability ratio, or at least hash rate to power consumption, kind of efficiency is also going to be slightly lower because it's dependent on 1 chip and not a bunch of them spread across an average. So you can see the highest hash rate that we actually hit up to was 2.367. So if we could achieve that, let's just say 2.36 at 42 watts, because that's all of them added together. If we did calculate that, let's cancel out. You can see we'd make relatively more in terms of the estimated income, and the profit would be relatively more as well because obviously that ratio has changed. But overall for the last 30 days, that's not a lot. If we bring a calculator now, we can actually calculate out for the next year. So you have 4.24, 4.24, and then times that by, let's just say 30 days. So it's around $50 across the year. If Bitcoin increases double by that time, it's around $100 in a year. And that's not really good in terms of the ROI of these miners because each of them on their own is around $100. I'm assuming that the ROI time is also quite close to what you would get on one of these ASIC miners. So when you're looking here, the ROI time is 910 days for the S21. That kind of works out to what you're seeing from one of these miners as well. But for the S21 Pro, I'm also assuming it's a little bit shorter, so it is there. Now these small Bitaxe miners are just a real easy way to get into Bitcoin mining. I wouldn't expect any profitability from them. This is just kind of a video to showcase that you shouldn't expect any profitability of them, and the need to kind of solo mine instead of trying to get some profitability from these. Over time, I think we're going to see bigger ones of these. Clearly, Bitaxe has been expanding with the Bitaxe Hex, which I hope to showcase on the channel, and that's going to do a lot more. It's going to be a little more comparable to an ASIC. But at the end of the day, it is just an S21 Pro stuck on 6 chips. So they're kind of providing a service right now, which is open source, smaller miners that you can mine Bitcoin on. You are technically profitable based on this, so there's no reason not to mine it profitably. But for me, this is too small of a rewards to justify mining it like that, because in case one of these chips does hit a block, you've basically thrown away 300,000 at that point. But with a fully fledged ASIC miner, you would be looking for profitability because the risk of wasting that much money on power is a lot more. So that's the reason that I would only use these to solo mine at current time. I'm sure there'll be some sort of conversion over when maybe the Bitaxe hits up to 10 chips or maybe 20 chips per board. That's kind of when I think we'll see a crossover into people actually mining it for profitability and not looking for solo blocks on the network. So let me know your thoughts in the comments if you have any one of these, or if you're looking to get into the Bitaxe Hex, please leave a comment below. Let me know the hash rates that you're getting and if you are actually profitable using these in your country. Make sure you like the video and subscribe for more content like this.